In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we are live.
Good morning, Owasso. This is the Twins with Owasso Live, and this is the Morning Loop. It is currently 8 a.m. like normal. It is 59 degrees outside with the high of 78, almost 80 today. So it's going to be nice out. Not the warmest that we've had, but I imagine it's going to get a little muggy like it's been for the last couple of days. So after work, go out and enjoy some time outside with your family. Go for a walk, take the dogs out, play in the backyard. Do something fun after work. Preferably outside. So, traffic conditions going in Tulsa again Friday. I don't know what's been going on this week at all, but there's been no real traffic issues at all in Owasso the last couple of days. So, all of your commutes into Tulsa should be pretty good. So, best of luck on your Friday afternoon. Enjoy your trips in. It looks like it's going to be relatively light traffic for you going in and out of Tulsa today. So, as far as local news coming up in Owasso, we got the Old Navy safety
Yes.
meeting. It's like where you meet and greet with the firefighters of Owasso and police officers of
Local police officers.
Owasso.
That's right.
So,
That's all there really is, and that's on the 11th. So that's all we have on this week. So we're already wrapped up for this week.
so if your kids are super into police officers or super into firefighters, go ahead and take them out to Old Navy, and they can meet and greet and talk with the local
PD.
civil servants, and they can basically tell them what to expect if they like that job, and they can tell them cool stories, or maybe probably I'm sure they'll have a fire truck there, so they can check out the fire truck, maybe shoot the water hose. I don't know, but that seems like it could be a good thing for you and your kids if you don't have a whole lot going on the 11th. So enjoy your day there. Also, a good reason to go check out and see what's going on at Old Navy, I suppose, too. What kind of clothes they got on sale.
That's really what it is. It's a marketing ploy by Old Navy.
Well played, Old Navy. Well played. All right. Now, as far as upcoming events or national news, we've got, well, I guess the potential impeachment of Joe Biden. So, as we know, or if you don't know, Donald Trump was impeached for basically blocking aid to Ukraine. He didn't want American funds going out to support the war effort in Ukraine, as where Congress and the Senate voted yes. Well, the Congress and the Senate both voted yes to send aid and missiles and military aid to
Israel.
Israel. Well, Joe Biden blocked it. So now the Republicans are introducing articles of impeachment for Joe Biden because he basically did the same thing Trump did, denying aid to Israel. Now, there's going to be a lot of but, people coming up and saying, hey, Israel's different. Israel's bombing children. Israel's not at war. Well, I mean, that's not true. If y'all remember what happened in October 7th, I mean, Hamas and the Palestinians who went into Israel sure didn't care about the women or the children, and they weren't even hard military targets. They were just concert goers. So, say what you will. I mean, it's the same principle holds true for what's going on. You can say, "Oh, Israel's not it's not the same." It is the same. The only difference is the Russians going into Ukraine are actually taking strategic locations, bridges, cities, towns, logistical supply points. With Hamas and Palestine and Israel going at each other, there is no real hard targets. It's clear them all out or lose the battle, lose the PR battle. So it's a much more complicated situation in Israel, but the principle remains true. Biden is withholding aid. Technically, that's an impeachable offense if we're going to go off of the standard that was set during Donald Trump's presidency. So now Joe Biden is going to be getting the same treatment. So congratulations, Democrats. You guys set the precedent, and now the precedent is being used against you. So this is what you get. You get what you deserve, and what you deserve is impeachment because this is the same standard you held the previous president up to. It's your fault if you reap what you sow.
Yep.
It's the same thing with them choosing the president be the one to elect or appoint judges.
Yeah.
You know, I can't remember all the Republicans saying, you will live to regret this decision, Democrats. And lo and behold, they did, because now we have a packed Supreme Court with conservative judges.
Yeah. It's only a problem if they don't get their way.
Yeah.
If Democrats don't get their way, that's when it becomes a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. This is why the election of Donald Trump was such, in my opinion, such a good thing. He's a monkey in the wrench, a pain in the butt, a fly in the ointment. You know, the entire political establishment did not expect him to get elected. So, you know, a lot of people who I listen to, they talk about how, you know, they have the deep state, they're all working together with the Republicans and the Democrats, and they're basically talking about how they have a game plan. They have a 100-year plan going, a 50-year plan going. And, you know, they would go in and they would talk to Trump and say, hey, this is what's going to happen. And then Trump would be like, no, I don't want to do that. And then they were like, well, now we've got to get rid of this guy because he's not playing ball. You know, the guys who we typically elect, the establishment Republican or the establishment Democrats, they're not the type to not play ball because they don't want to get JFK'd. So, and I said, that's a theory. That's a theory. None of that's factual. It's all alleged. But, I mean, it seems like it kind of tracks, because why is everyone so universally united against the man when he did such a decent job? I wouldn't say decent. He did a good job. No new wars. Best economic or economy in years.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that threw a wrench in it was the whole COVID thing. And as you know, I mean, I don't know where people stand on that, but I mean, it seems like that was released upon the world instead of it occurring naturally.
Yes, the whole lab leak theory was proven to be true.
Yeah, the lab leak theory was true. Dr. Anthony Fauci funded a lot of that stuff.
And then, to make matters worse, is the whole one of the European vaccines just got recalled because it's found to be doing more damage
than good.
Yeah. So we can say that COVID was literally not as bad for the world as it was made out to be.
Yeah, it's like what Trump said, you know, we can't make the cure worse than the plague. And the cure or the solution became worse than the plague itself, because the plague was basically the flu or the common cold for most people. But, you know, they racked up all those hospitals were, what do you call it? They were banking on those inflated numbers, going, oh, well, he was decapitated in a murder, but he had COVID.
So therefore we're counting it as a COVID death.
So yeah, that's what you were dealing with. You know, we're padding stats again. So it's just nonsense, and that's what we're looking at. So I'm hoping that I don't know if this impeachment's going to get much traction, if any at all, but you know, at least they're doing something or pretending to do something. So that's nice that they're making it look like something's happening, even if nothing's actually going to happen because of this. So we'll see. We'll see. The only other thing that I was going to mention or talk about was I actually checked out a video by a fella on YouTube, and he was talking about how he went and volunteered down in Sulphur, Oklahoma. So this is going to be advice for the people who were hit in the Barnsdall and Bartlesville area. Beware of scammers out there. Scammers or scam, what do you call them? Restoration companies. Yep. Or emergency relief companies.
Yep.
So this fella who I was checking out on this YouTube video was like, I went and volunteered at Sulphur, and this is what I was kind of shocked by when I was down there. And there will be, you know, these guys who come in and go, hey, they'll go to these people who are trying to pull what's left of their home out of their house, and they'll go up and say, hey, we're so-and-so restoration company, or we're a relief company. You know, we're going to work with your insurance company. If you pay us whatever your deductible is, or if you pay us, you know, a couple $1,000, we'll work with your insurance company and take care of all this stuff. And then, you know, lo and behold, they disappear. You know, they'll move a couple of trees and say, hey, we're charging you X amount of dollars to do this. So beware of these scammers. You know, these are not locals. These are, according to this fellow, he was like, these are people who are from bigger cities, you know, who are coming in to take advantage of the ignorance. And, you know, it's like, because, you know, when you're in a disaster, you're just assuming everyone's there to help you, you know. They're not. Even in times of crisis, in fact, times of crisis is typically when the most people will get to take advantage of the worst. So I mean, just the only benefit to you is hopefully you don't have cash or your credit cards on you, because
Mm-hmm.
you'll be like, oh, I don't have that funds right now, so I'll have to do that with you later.
Mm-hmm.
So be wary of the people who have these credit card charging machines that they keep on their phones, because not all these folks are going to be genuine out there. So be very careful. Just say, hey, I have an insurance policy. My insurance is going to handle this. And that's where you just kind of need to leave it, unless you just know the people who are working with this restoration company, unless you know and trust them. Because some random person walks up to you and you're clearing out what's left of your home, and they say, "Oh yeah, we're here to help. I need you to pay me this right now so I can go ahead and start clearing these trees." Or if they say, "Well, I cleared these trees for you, you're gonna have to pay me this," just say, "No, I didn't
Mm-hmm.
ask you to do that." Shove on.
And what was the other thing that they talked about too? Is like you're not supposed to really start cleaning up right off the bat, because your
Yeah.
insurance company and the inspectors want to see all the damage before
Yes.
you just start clearing and getting rid of everything.
So yeah, they actually say, unfortunately for the people who live there, the recovery or the restoration process won't start at least for 2 days, because it's going to take the insurance adjusters and the those folks to get to. It's going to be tough to get in. Like, a lot of people couldn't even get into the town, so they say wait about a couple of days, let the sheriffs and the local people figure out the logistical setup. Where they're going to have the aid station, where they're going to have the food supplies. Then you show up to these checkpoints, and they say, what can you do? How can you help? And then you say, well, I can't lift up anything over 50 pounds. And they go, okay, well, then you'll go over here and you'll hand out food. That's your job. And then, if you're perfectly able-bodied, they'll be like, well, you're going to go cut down trees, or you're going to go move debris from houses with these guys over here. And that's what you go do. So just beware of the scammers that are going to be out there, because the people, you are the most vulnerable you'll ever be when you're just walking around in what's left of your home. And these people don't care. They're just out there to scam you and take your money. And this is the perfect time to do it, because you just assume in a disaster scenario that everyone's going to have your best interest at heart, even if it's not like a global disaster. Like, specifically, you have these people who go, it's like they can have trucks and they can print really interesting, intricate logos on their truck and say, hey, I'm so and so with Jim Bob's disaster relief. I need you to pay me X right now, or I moved a couple of trees, pay me now, and I'll take care of you. No, do not trust these people. In fact, you know, I need as many credentials from you as possible. How long have you worked there? And I mean, a lot of these people will have these stories well planned out. It's like, I founded this company 6 years ago after I was in a tornado. Just don't trust them. Don't trust them. Google up the companies and see who you're dealing with. And that's the downside too. The cell towers were all hit in Barnsdall, so most people in Barnsdall don't even have internet capabilities to check out what's going on, depending on where you're at in the city.
Mm-hmm. It just goes to show you how dependent we are on technology nowadays.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just a quick verification tool. If I came up and said, "Hey, we're the Bad Twins Restoration Company. Pay me $1,000." If you have your phone out, you can just Google Bad Twins Restoration. You got this. There's nothing here. I can't find your company. Oh well, we're a small
Up and start.
company. We're a startup. And you won't be able to find us. And like, who's your insurance provider? Who do you guys? How did you guys get LLC'd? Those kind of questions. But again, you're vulnerable. You're in the remains of your home. You're kind of at a loss. You don't know what to do. This is when these vultures are going to come in and scam the crap out of you. So just be careful. It's like it's something you don't really think about in these disaster relief times, but it happens. And again, people don't care. They just want your money.
Mm-hmm.
So, if they're not working directly with your insurance company, or you haven't talked to your insurance adjuster yet, you don't make a payment to nobody. Now, if you're one of those people that doesn't have insurance on your home, tough. That's when you're going to have to figure it out on your own.
Yeah,
But
that's when you do the whole GoFundMe or try to plead the case of your church or whatever local community that you have that you need help.
yeah, that's just why local community is so important, and why, again, having a church community is important, because most people they're not. We have exported charity as a business now. People don't. I mean, I have a couple of customers in this book of business here. that they're old guys and they love going out and working chainsaws and helping people in these times, and they all do it out of the kindness of their heart. They don't do it because they get paid. But we have turned charity work or this type of stuff into a business, so there's money to be made. People don't really just go out and do stuff out of the kindness of their heart. You get a select few people, but for most of us, it's like, I don't have time to do this. I got to get to work and feed my own family. We got to do that. So we've exported the kindness to a business.
Yeah, kindness has been transported to taxes. Let's just tax ourselves, and we'll say that that's the kindness, which, as we all know, that's not exactly how charity and is supposed to work.
Yeah, no, you're supposed to do it because you want to do it, not because you feel. I mean, you should feel obligated to be charitable, but the higher tax, as they've done, all the studies show, the more taxes people have to pay, the less charitable people become.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because the people who think that they can export charity and make it the government's job. I mean, the government is not as charitable as any other organization out there. In fact, the government's going to be the most strenuous when it comes to handing out stuff. Now, they're really, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of folks qualify for welfare. A lot of people get on welfare who shouldn't be on welfare. So there's some give and takes, but especially when it comes to like this FEMA stuff. I mean, the government's pretty stingy when it comes to declaring national disasters too. Like, you'd be surprised. I mean, they might not declare Bartlesville or Sulphur or even Barnesdall a natural disaster. They could be like, nah, this isn't that caliber of incident. It has to be over a certain amount of dollars, or a certain number of people had to have died. So just be careful out there, especially right now for those of you who, and I'm hoping people in Barnesdall, you can get the word out to them. Just beware of scammers, because they're out there. They don't care about you. They don't care about your family. They don't care about the restoration of your home. They're just going to take that money and take off.
Mm-hmm.
So don't hand anybody cash. Don't pay anybody with your credit card while you're in those disaster relief zones. None of that. If you're not dealing directly with your insurance company that you know of, you don't pay nobody. Be careful out there, especially for those of you, our thoughts and prayers are still with you folks who are out there in Barnesdall and in Bartlesville who are rebuilding. Don't get taken advantage of by these jerkwads who are coming out there to scam you. Because you already lost a lot. Don't lose any more, because you just assumed everyone was there and had your best interest at heart. But yeah, I think that's about all we've got for you today. I know it was a short one today, but there wasn't really it's been a really slow news week.
Yeah, it has. The only other good news that it's not good news, but news that'll get your mind off the downtrodden and the low that we talked about today is Thunder played last night, and unfortunately, we lost the second series of this particular round of the playoffs.
By
and,
9 points.
Yeah, it was 119. The Mavs were 119 to our 110. So hopefully, next one that we have, we can pull through and get another W. But now we can't just do a
sweep
4 and done, and we have to actually gonna have to fight this one out for a little bit.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Thunder. I knew this one was going to be a dogfight. The Thunder and the Mavs. This is going to be tough. This is going to be hard fought. They're no one. That team is not one team to be slept on. So, hopefully, Saturday, then when they play their next game, they will come out on top. Because Lord knows it's about time for the Thunder to be on top. So, best luck to the Thunder. That's about all we've got for you today. This is the Twins with the Owasso Live. This was the Morning Loop. We are signing off. God bless y'all.
See you later, everybody.